Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels collector video. Today we are looking at the Hot Wheels Premium Boulevard Toyota AE86 Sprinter Trueno. Before I do start, there is a mainline version of this car as well, which was released in 2021 in the Falcon livery and was also released in 2022 in a red colour and I believe maybe a white colour as well. I do have the Falcon version and I've already made a review of that car, so if you do want to check that out, it will be in the description and the pinned comment, but I will also compare this premium version to the mainline version later in this video, so stick around if you want to see that. Anyways, let me give you some facts about this car. So in real life, this car has a 1.6 litre inline 4 engine producing 112 horsepower and about 110 pound-feet of torque or 136 newton meters. This car is most known for Initial D. It is kind of the main car that people kind of follow in Initial D. It is obviously in that white colour, and I believe it's like a Pizza Boys car or something in that franchise, obviously being an anime franchise. This car has a 0 to 60 in just 8.6 seconds, so not too bad, and it also has a top speed of 120 mph, and when it was new it cost between $15,000 all the way up to $40,000 depending on what trim you got of this car. This one is the one with pop-up headlights and is obviously the Sprinter Trueno version. There was also a much more standard looking one and obviously had less performance and was less desirable and is not the one that features in Initial D. This one right here is the one that people are after and is the most valuable nowadays. Speaking of value, if you want one of these things right now, in America at least, this will cost you $25,000 for a good condition one. That is being a standard one. If you want a modified one, which is already modified by somebody else, you'll be paying much more, well over $40,000. And this car is going up in value very quickly. So if you do want one of these in real life, definitely get one now before it is too late. And this car does go up even more in value because all the JDM stuff is getting more and more valuable. Anyways, that's it for the facts. Let's get into the actual showcase of this car. Alright, so kicking off this showcase, first I'm going to mention the wheel choice. So these are 6-spoke wheels done in black, very nice. And obviously these are Rio Riders because this is in the premium Hot Wheels set. You can also see this car is split into two colours, black and red. They are both painted on there, they are not tampoed, so that red is not tampo, it is actual paint. Very nice to see that. As for the wing mirrors, this car does have them and they are painted in black, very nice to see that. I love to see wing mirrors, especially on premium stuff, but also I do like it on main lines, it just enhances that realistic look. You can see there's also quite a nice amount of tampo on the sides. First of all, the door handle is done in black. You can also see the Advan writing in white, as well as the number 23, which is surrounded by a white square. You can also see the sponsors Sparkle and GNC Oil right there as well. And you can also see a reflector on the very front fender there, at the very front of that fender there. Now let's move on to the front of this car. Alright, so now taking a look at the front of this car, it will be quite hard to see some of the details, unfortunately, because this is still in the blister. I don't unbox my premium stuff because of the price and obviously the value that they will get. Not that I'll ever sell this stuff, or I don't intend to anyway. But for the tampo wear, we do have quite a lot. So we have the headlights which have been done, as well as the lower lights. You can also see Trueno is tampoed on there as well, and we also have the lower fog lights done too. I believe those middle set of lights are indicator lights, and you can also see the license plate is actually also tampoed, which reads Advan. Very nice to see that there. It's very highly detailed there. You can also see there's lots of tampo work on the hood, so we have that returning number 23 in black with the outline of a white square. You can also see the Advan writing returning in white and some nice red striping as well, once again returning. You can also see the Yokohama sponsoring underneath that as well. Very nice to see, it looks awesome. Now let's get on to the rear of the car because the other side is going to be the exact same as the previous, although it may have the fuel filler cap, but that's going to be the only difference. Let's get on to the rear of this car now. Alright, so now we're on the rear of the car. Before I do get into the rear though, this car does have windshield wipers on the front. Very nice to see. It's hard to see on camera, so there's no point in me really showing you it, but they are there. As for the rear, it again is fully tampoed up and looks awesome. So first of all, we have the trunk release, which is done in black. It's that little black blob. You can also see the Advan sponsoring returning in white. You can also see Trueno returning in white as well. And the rear lights have been done in a realistic tampo, a very realistic look, very similar to the front lights, which also are done in a realistic manner. You can also see the Advan license plate returns, And you can also see some sponsoring, which I believe says LTD or LID. I'm not entirely sure what that's referencing. On the back of the card, I couldn't really find what it's referencing either, so not sure. Somebody can probably point me in the right direction of what that is and comment below. You can also see the exhaust is just a tiny little single exit, and that is done using the black metal base, obviously being a metal base on this one, not plastic, because this is premium quality. Finally, on the roof of this car, there is no detailing done. It's hard to quite see, but there isn't actually anything to see. It's just done in black, as you can see there, just a black glossy paint. I will mention that this is not metallic at all, so none of it's metallic, it's all just glossy, so it's glossy red and glossy black. And the front windows are actually wound up as well. I'll mention that as well there. Anyways, that's it for this premium version of this car. Now I'm actually going to get the mainline out, we'll compare it, and then I'll get into my final review and thoughts on this car. Okay, so here are the two cars side by side. You will notice that this is the exact same casting. Both of them have wing mirrors, and both of them have the headlights popped up. I'm pretty sure this casting was actually cast just for the initial D car. That was when it was first casted, and that car commands a lot of value from second-hand sellers on eBay, Whatnot, whatever else. Obviously, Whatnot is kind of more of a bidding site, but if you want something for, like right now, buy it now, on eBay they are really expensive. And obviously they're made more expensive because A, they're a JDM car, and B, being from Initial D, which is a very popular anime series amongst the car fans. But there you go, the exact same casting. The only difference is obviously this one's got more detail in terms of tampering, but again the actual metal casting is identical. There is no difference there. Anyways, let's get into my final thoughts and review of this one right here, the premium one. Alright, so now it's time for my final thoughts and review on this car. I think it's an absolutely amazingly executed casting, very realistic to the real life model, and definitely does not need a retool. As for the Advan livery, I think it suits this car perfectly, and this is definitely going to be one of the most sought after in the set. I'm not sure which one will sell first, although from my experience it seems to be the Evo, which is also in this Boulevard mix. But I think this is a really nice one. It's definitely not going to be underrated, but I definitely wouldn't say it's overrated either. It's just going to be one of them ones which deserves its hype, to be entirely honest. But anyways, that leads me on to my final score out of 10. What am I going to give this car out of 10? I'm going to give this car a solid 10 out of 10. It's the same with most premiums, to be honest. I really do like them all. I think they're really, really well executed. The only things that I do have issues with is the amount of errors on these. At this price point, I really don't think it's acceptable for any paint chips, errors, tampo issues. None of that should be happening on this price range. It really isn't a premium product if there's going to be issues with it on most of them. But that's my opinion. I've seen plenty of them, and I've had to turn down quite a lot of them just because of the lack of quality. And honestly, we shouldn't have to look in the blister and make sure the card and car is perfect quality. It should always just be that way. It should be perfect. In every single car. I get that they make a ton of them, and I'm going to go on a rant here, but I get that they make a ton of them and they have to obviously meet the demands and make loads of them, but there's definitely a way they could be more gentle with them when they're making them. I don't mind it so much on the main lines because obviously they're for kids really, but these are collector's products, so I mean, come on. You've got to up your game, Hot Wheels, on the quality on these. It even says hotwheelscollectors.com on the back of this. It's literally appealing to adults, yet the quality is still not quite there, I don't think. This one's pretty much perfect anyway, and I'm really happy with this one. I really do like the premium stuff when the quality is good, but again, there's sometimes issues on them, so make sure you check them before you buy them. And obviously return them if you're not happy, because you can. You're entitled to return a product if it's faulty to a store, so make sure you do that if you're not 100% happy with your product, and obviously look up your store's return policy. But anyways, that's it for this video. So if you enjoyed, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss a new upload. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or in any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured to if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested in this video. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for watching all the way up until this point. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye bye, everyone.